Welcome to On the Couch with Tim, and today's guest is Rochell Griffin. Some people call her Rose, some people know her as Lady Rose.
No one knows me as that. No one knows
So
me
I
as
think
that.
I just want to introduce the word properly to who I have in the building. So I really appreciate you being here.
I know you are tickled that I'm here. I'm gonna give you what you wanted me to come for. I promise.
Come with it. So today, guys, we're talking about is it manipulation or is it feminine energy that gets you what you want?
Yes, and yes.
Yes and yes?
Because I think that, here's the thing. People don't like the truth. Because the truth has different, connotations and interpretations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So manipulation is such a negative sounding word. But to me, all that means is you're being calculated. You have a goal in mind, and you do what's necessary to achieve that goal by the means that you know will work. So you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it's the same thing.
By the means. Okay, so some of those means, if we're talking about feminine energy, the feminine wiles that women can use, like my body, my sex, baby, I got your plate. So you're saying those things, I'm manipulating you to get something that I want.
We manipulate everything, down to our hair. Our iron manipulates the wrinkles in your clothes. So again, let's not fixate on manipulation. It's gold getting. Let's call it that, because people like that. Gold diggers, hashtag gold, all of that, that's acceptable. But again, all of these is manipulation. And I do think that it is something to being feminine. Something as simple as when I talk to you, I'm going to touch you. Because that's me. But it gets your attention. And it may elicit a different reaction than if I ask you in a quick or maybe more aggressive way. Then if I ask you the same thing, say, hey, can I see you smiling already trying to stop the corners of your lips from me? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it works.
Wow. So is this just a feminine energy, or do men have the capacity to do the same?
Absolutely. I think it's called studying your subject. And whether it is studying your boss at work, whether it is making sure that you know your kids. Like I learned early on, my daughter, who is just 10 now, has so much fire, and she is so much me, more so than I like to admit, that I knew that if there were two options and I really wanted her to wear the yellow outfit, I needed to ask her to wear the blue one, because she wasn't going to want to do that, and she was going to pick the yellow. And that's just studying your subject. So absolutely, a man should be able to know that whatever he's trying to conquer, if this works for them as opposed to this, do that.
So with a man, that energy is called pimping.
Maybe.
It's called pimping.
Is that what it's called?
That's exactly what pimping is.
So many people don't have it then, I'm telling you.
Let me rephrase then, or ask in a different way. Is manipulation synonymous with maliciousness, being malicious in some way? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Why is it then that if I'm a man, I don't want to feel like, she's wearing a tight dress and she's coming around me. I'm an older guy, so like the sugar daddy. Like, I know what I got to do. I got to pay for it. And some people are cool with that. I know if I want this young energy, this young tenderoni, I got to pay for that. Why do some people shy away from, hey, it is what it is. It's transactional. It's straight transactional. Why do people shy away from it? You call it manipulation. It's pimping.
It's not pimping. It's so much more than that. So again, personal story. I'm car shopping now. Somebody got me. They stole my car.
Dig that.
But what I know is I dressed up to go car shopping. I got the same amount of money in the bank, and I could have worn the sweats that I had on at the house to go. But I felt like I was going to get a different reception, a different energy, a different enthusiasm to help me. because of how I was perceived visually, even being pretty. I think, let's call it what it is, attractive people are able to enjoy different types of, of favor than maybe someone that's not. It's not fair, but it is what it is. That's the reason that we dress up for interviews and for a job that we're trying to get. We don't just roll to the job with the same gym shorts on that, we got out of bed in. And so even that's a form of manipulation. It's just knowing these unspoken rules or these, latent contexts, because that's what it is. Not to buy into it, not to endorse it, not to say it's fair, but because that's what it is, I'm gonna play by those rules to end up winning the game, basically.
Okay. I'm still hearing that when I want something from my partner, either my wife, girlfriend, whomever that is, the relationship is transactional. If I want you to do certain things, I need to be able to, set you up, put you in the mood to say yes to me.
Okay, I give you that.
Okay, let's go with that. I got to go through all this work, manipulate you. However, in the beginning, it didn't seem like that. A lot of guys will say, hey, in the beginning, I ain't have to do all this. She was probably one of many. And so she knew what she had to do to get me. So she was like Becky on the spot. Now, it's like, God, dog, I gotta.
It's never be Becky. Go ahead.
But I got to do this, man. I got to make sure we got this going on, the music, the lights, the whatever. It's so many different things to get what I want. And so, I'm like, dude, God dang. I got to manipulate you to do some things that you were already doing? Is that what we're doing?
Wow, I want to take this so many different places, but I'm trying to stay in the road. Okay. I don't think that you have to manipulate someone to do the things that they were already doing. I do think that we teach people or show people how to treat us. And so perhaps the guy in that same setup, that same scenario that you just gave, was also kind of into her. So he allowed her to stop doing some of the things that she was doing. At first, she was cooking multiple times a week and all that kind of stuff, and then she stopped. If that was something that was important to him, then you had that conversation right away. Or if he, in the beginning, I didn't even know where my gas tank was. Like, Griff was going to make sure that I was, he was putting gas in the car, and so then maybe fell off from that. Well, it's on me to, if that's not really big of a deal, then cool, I can handle that. And so now I don't get to necessarily be upset when I notice, he's not doing that anymore. But if that's something that I need to have, then address it then. Hey, check this out. My gas empty, what's up? I don't know. I feel like maybe I took that in a different direction, but it's so
you
often.
did. You made it so relationship based.
Anything, you just teach folks how to treat you.
But when we talk about, if our relationships are transactional, I believe that relationships are transactional. And if that's the case, is it a possibility that we can have unconditional love with each other in this relationship? Because, dude, once you stop doing what I think you need to be doing for me, it's a wrap on us.
A lie.
It is a wrap. What is you talking about? Transaction. When you stop bringing your end of the transaction to the table, why are we still in a relationship?
First, I think that's different for everyone, and I do think it's a choice. So if you have chosen and signed up for this particular business deal to happen, then yeah, you in it.
You are in it.
Unless you have set up a clause of like revisitation every like in businesses we're going to revisit your performance every quarter, every year. Then yeah, but if you haven't, and like so many people, if you stood up and said unconditionally till death, then bruh, you in it.
Okay,
You know what I'm
alright.
saying?
So I don't want to focus I don't want to reduce it or deduce what we're talking about to just people who are married.
No, absolutely not. But even what you're saying and teaching, like I teach my daughter now in these exact words, and again, she's 10. You teach people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, check this out. As a friend, this is how I want you to address me. Or if you don't like my new little braids or whatever, then this is how I want you to tell me or something. Like it doesn't have anything to do with relationships. I think we just jumped to that. Still, if I know that you are not a morning person in whatever ship it is, you know what I'm saying, relationship, friendship, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If I haven't asked for you, why the hell I want to ask you first thing in the morning? If it's a difficult conversation, if it's going to be one that might cause, some back and forth, or you need some processing time for, I'm going to get you at the best possible time. If it's something that's a little difficult that I kind of already feel like you're going to say no to, I can anticipate the reasons you might say no. And then in my delivery, let me go ahead and address them real quick. To some, that's manipulation. To me, that's just smart.
Well, addressing the conversation in a way that makes me less combative, that is wisdom. However, when we start talking about manipulation, baby, let me get your drink. I fix your plate, or I got my short dress on because I'm tempting you. I'm getting your stimulus aroused so that, like, dude, you're going to say yes to whatever I'm talking about at this point. Or it's just going to make the conversation more lighthearted. And I ain't saying anything wrong with that.
Yes, and yes.
Because I agree. As long as you give me what I want, transactional. As long as you're supplying that, I don't care that you're using whatever your manipulatives to get the desired result. Because it works out for us both.
So let me push it further, because I think basically we're saying the same thing, but this is what is the main point to me. I have a lot of ladies in this, I'm sorry, it is going to be relational, that may feel like, okay, I'm bringing X, Y, and Z to the table. So the transactional, context is still there. But they're frustrated in hearing maybe from their partner, especially if, well, I guess it doesn't matter the gender of their partner. Still, I think in most relationships, there is maybe a dynamic of one person either has or feel they have the most authority, like the final word in the relationship. I could be wrong, because guess what, I'm not a therapist. But I think that probably lends toward more clarity. I'm not sure how folks can, either way, let me move on. If they feel like I'm bringing X, Y, and Z to the table, so therefore because I am still providing a transaction that is desired, then I should be able to ask in whatever way I want to ask. Or if he knows that this bill need to be paid on time, or that grass need to be cut, or whatever, or I want to go on this girl's trip and I already know he don't want me to go, but why is he tripping because I'm able to pay for it? No, sis, that's not the way to get what you want. I'm not saying all the things you want can be accomplished, but let me first make sure before I ask him about this girl's trip we done cooked up. Yes, I'm going to spend quality time because I know what's important to him. Yes, I'm going to sit on it before I ask him this. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that you feel loved, your love tank is full, all of that. So when I come now with my ask that you maybe would have had a harsh reaction to if you were on empty, now you like, man, this girl can get whatever she wants.
That makes perfect sense. I think we've talked about this before one-on-one. That makes perfect sense in a sense that if I'm going to go out with the boys, if I'm going to do whatever, I'm going to probably make sure that, the kids are taken care of. I didn't hook y'all up with dinner. Or even if you're going to go out sometimes with your girls, hey, here a few dollars, drinks on me. You know what I mean? I'm going to buy a round for you girls, whatever that looks like. So I'm doing a lot of manipulation because I want to store up some yeses for me in my column when I have an ask of you. So when I come to you,
tricking then, since you like to use the pimp analogy.
Well, that's not
trick them drinks off right quick. I'm sorry.
As they say, it ain't tricking if you got it. You know what I mean? It ain't tricking if you got it. So, I am setting you up in a sense that I want to make sure I get a yes. However, when we start talking about pimping in a sense is, I'm gonna get you to do something that you would probably never agree to. And I'm going to have you thinking that, you know what, I need to do that for Dad. That's going to make Daddy happy.
Matter of fact, I would take it because I'm sorry, I am a woman in the South in a traditional relationship dynamic where I am supposed to be submissive. So I'm going to take it a step further. Not only do you want to do it for Mama, but you're going to think, man, this is my idea. I came up with this right here for my, and she gonna love it. Absolutely. Not many people are skilled enough to do that, but I think the ladies are closer to becoming that than they believe if they ask what they want to ask softly and use that feminine energy. And in a whole conversation about pimping, I hate to bring up the word of God, but bruh, even it says in the Bible, a soft answer. Sis, say the same thing you was gonna say, but instead of saying, dang, this trash still full, I got to say, baby, you forgot I got the trash. Can you do that? When maybe at a commercial break. Do you mind doing that, baby? Okay. Say that, do that. It's a difference, but you get the same response.
You definitely get a different response coming at me. I had a client tell me it was how his girlfriend was introducing things to him, and he never felt as if he was satisfying her. So, not to be too descriptive, however, so if I am asking for something, like, hey babe, my birthday is coming up, I see a pair of shoes, and so you have in your mind, I want some Louis shoes. I have in my mind, I'm gonna get you some, I don't know, Michael Kors purses or whatever that looks like. So when I get it to you, you're not satisfied. It's not what you really wanted, right?
Right.
So how are you gonna go about getting me up from the Michael Kors to the Louis and beyond?
I think it looks different with every person. And it goes back to the only way that you can be strategic, manipulate, pimp, whatever verb you want to insert, is if you know who you're dealing with. So for you might be a person, because just knowing you on a platonic level, you're kind of a straight shooter, and you appreciate people that, kind of gets the point and say it. So you may appreciate that if she say, yo, thank you for the thought, it really means a lot, but this is not what I want, so let's return this is what I want. And so when this is in the budget, give me this, until then don't give me anything. And you would not be offended. For mine, he would be devastated. And so what I had to do is make a really big deal about the Michael Kors, and oh my gosh, you were so thoughtful and considerate, thank you so much, wear them. Maybe wear them when I'm not going to walk in them. Wear them, you know what I'm saying? Then, whatever. But then I'm going to also make sure that I have shown you this is what I really like. And I would never buy this for myself. Matter of fact, man, I'm not even sure if we could afford this, because he's a fierce provider. He takes pride in taking care of us. So if I say something like we can't afford it, he's going to do, I know that's a trigger word for him, he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that he's shown me that he can provide, that it is in the budget. I'm going to get a side hustle or whatever that maybe I don't even know about, but it's going to end up being this. So again, I think it just boils down to, sis, be quiet long enough. And I know for a lot of sisters, that's our trigger, especially as strong, independent bosses, girl magic, all of that. For somebody to tell us be quiet. What you mean? No, I'm not. I'm just saying, hey, listen, slow down, pause long enough to study. You don't have any problem studying anything else you want to do. If you want to go to that trip to Turks, you're going to study. You're going to figure out when to buy the ticket, where to go, what's the best. You're going to do all of that. If you're trying to pledge a sorority, if you're trying to get another degree, you don't have a problem with pulling to the side and studying. Study your relationships as well. And you can't do that by talking and running it all the time. You have to be quiet. And then once you see what his triggers are, both positive and negative, then you can play on that. And you can call that manipulation or underhanded all day. But look, if it's going to give me what I want, okay.
I think a lot of women miss exactly what you're saying. As, I won't say all, most men want to do a whole lot for you. Just like women know, I'm going to have sex with this guy till he starts talking his way out of it. So we talk ourselves out of, potential sexual favors and things that women want to do for us. Women talk themselves out of all of the extra stuff we want to do. And now we're just doing the bare minimum, if that, because of how you come at us. And so if you are able to use whatever kind of pimping you have, manipulatives, whatever it is you want to bring to the table, use it on me. Because there's an interview, I think it was Angela Davis that said back in the day, man, you've been lying at work all day. Man, come home, lie to me. I want the same kind of treatment when you come home. You done went hard for everybody else. Come and show me that. And if you show me that, man,
absolutely,
dude, the world is yours.
Right. Yo, so you didn't talk about this, but I gotta say this too. Is to my girls, by Yaya's, my Black Girl Magic again. Look, y'all, these bonnets and it like at work, and this was me. Someone had to step outside and say this to me years ago. When I go to work or wherever, because I kind of girly girl, I like to dress up. I got on my heels, my lip gloss, I'm together. As soon as I get home, because of course we're moms, a lot of us too, I started breaking down like a transformer. I got all these leggings, especially if you were still working at home every day or whatever. I got a girlfriend, cute, shaped fire. Wearing leggings every day. Her husband's so tired, I ain't seeing her no daggone leggings. Yo, the world gets to see you smelling good, you at your best. And your husband, who used to, when you just thought he was coming over, even in the middle of the night, you waking up putting something, no makeup on, glossing up.
Come on through.
No, at the house, y'all, please still look cute for him. Remind him, because when he go out in the world, he's seeing everybody glossed up too. And then he comes home to you. So make sure that you are still showing him what he has at home, especially if you also might have those asks of him. He can't wait to do what you want him to do and remind you, hey, you don't have to stray. I know when dudes, he needs to know when he comes home that dudes are at you as well. And not by you telling them. We communicate so much more profoundly, non-verbally.
Definitely. And that goes both ways. I just started working with my trainer this week, and man, he put me on the scale. And I was like, dude, this is it.
I'm embarrassed,
dude. I'm like, this, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And so, just hearing what you say, fellas, we have to bring that same energy to the table, although we can hide it a little bit. I think we can hide it a little bit better. You got to take value in your appearance, what you bring to the table, because the same energy you're demanding of your partner, you want that from yourself. And it doesn't matter whatever the spouse, girlfriend, whomever it is. You got to understand the transaction. What you bring to the table, man, you got to keep that up. That's why the old dude at the club, he know he gonna spend $200-300 at the bar. to. That's the transaction. I know what I bring to the table. And my blue pills in my pocket, you know what I bring to the table. So don't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Men have a better understanding that from the outset, I understand my transactional part of it. And so this is what I got to bring to the table.
I agree with probably about 80% of that.
What are you struggling with?
That men maybe understand better the transactional part. But again, that's a different topic for a different day.
Well, maybe not we understand it better. We just know that, hey, if I want a certain type of woman, I know I got to bring something to the table. And what most men have to bring to the table is financials, possibly physique, whatever you bring to the table. It could be your brain. I don't know, whatever it is that you bring to the table. You got to recognize that that's part of your transaction. Your transaction that hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what you like about me.
Okay.
You can't stop that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And we understand that, hey, I gotta have it at all times. That don't stop. Women make it stop. Y'all don't use y'all manipulators enough. Manipulate me. Take advantage of all your feminine energy at all times, 24/7.
So you're a subscriber to this. This is what I want. I would love to speak to someone that is offended by this and feels like, oh my God, no, on both sides, whether, women, men, or what have you, that no, we should not do this to each other, that is underhanded or is in maybe, I don't even know the word that I'm looking for, but it's just not honest. But also with someone that says, no, I don't understand, I don't feel like the relationship is transactional and I shouldn't have to do any of this. I would love to have that conversation, because see, you're sold out already. It's a lot of folks, like that's my issue in what you just said, that men are, they understand the transactional part, is because I interact with so many men that feel that just because they are a man, that they running, that they have the authority, and that, man, in today's dating age, you'd be surprised that so many guys just feel like because y'all are outnumbered so, I don't really have to bring very much to the table besides the fact that I am a man, because mostly the ladies want a man so desperately that a lot of these chicks do have thirsty tendencies.
Now you're speaking to something else.
I'm sorry, that's just what you said.
Yeah, so
you know that the man, he understands physique, finance, all that. No, they
yeah.
You speaking for yourself.
Okay, so I will say that there are men, and I'm not going to say just men, your global definition of manhood, womanhood, a lot of people recognize that the man is supposed to be the head of the household. We just talking about family dynamic. Head of the household, and if you're in church, you got scriptures and everything that subscribes to that. And so if even a boss chick that's like, man, I'm tired of being the boss all day, I want a dude to be able to take care and take charge, right? So there's just this implied perspective that, hey, you need to step up and be the man. So in stepping up and being the man, I can bring, just depending on what you need, I can bring very much or very little. Because if you don't need me to do certain aspects of manhood, you just probably need a different side of me. And that if you're a boss chick, you don't need my finances as much as somebody that's like working at Target somewhere. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying you don't need me in the same way. So what I'm bringing to the table for you is
that D? That's
some good constant.
Let me tell y'all, these roses out here shutting down the game for y'all. Please get something else but other than that. Cause I don't think I even need that. Amazon got me. As long as that Amazon truck going 7 days a week, I'm good. That's another conversation for another day too.
Well, again, I hear what you're saying. The person that probably disagrees, to me, that's the person that's thinking that, hey, we're supposed to have unconditional love. You're supposed to love me despite the things that I'm lacking and be good with it.
Yeah, I think we've again taken the topic to something else though. Because I don't even feel like unconditional love, that's here. But the art of in this dynamic of unconditional love or relationship, let's take love even off the table, in this dynamic of the relationship, we can both enjoy it better if I'm asked to do things in a certain way, or if I make my request in a certain way, because then it's not conflictual. It's just easier for both of us to get what we want. And I noticed too that a lot we talk about man and woman, and really now things are getting so fluid.
Yeah.
And I'll even say when it is man and woman relationship in different regions or even different age groups, it's not so much traditional anymore. You know what I mean? So it's not even about the woman doing something to a man or vice versa. It's just in any relationship. So I still gotta say, whether it's a parent-child, whether it's a friend relationship, what I know about my best friend, who is an attorney to her core, she can argue about anything, is that in order for me to convince her of an idea, I can't really come at her too aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just kind of set the facts out and then kind of change the subject and do it lightheartedly, because she's going to dogmatically hold on to whatever, even if she's wrong. So again, it's not a male-female dynamic, but it's just a, hey, if I am trying to convince her that we gonna get this Airbnb instead of this hotel suite, then let me lay the facts out, and then because I know her, I know she'll process it in this way. Especially if I got some nachos on the table too, then it's gonna work out for me.
You know, I think people should take a picture. I totally agree with what you're saying. People should take a picture from kids who are master manipulators.
They really are.
They come out, you don't teach them how to be manipulative. They just know.
Oh my God, that's really true.
They're authentic manipulators.
And they know their subject so well, because they're going to do something different for you than they would for mom and they would for grandma. Oh my God, you're right.
We need to rap on that. That's exactly how we should be. And if we for me, I don't think that, I will say I struggle with the belief, and we'll talk about this another time, that couples can have unconditional love, because I believe that everything is transactional. Once you start providing your transaction, it becomes real hard to love you. I do believe, though, that because we manipulate each other, if we learn the art of that, we're both supplying each other with what we want.
We were supplying each other with what we want even before the manipulation, but we might have supplied it begrudgingly or out of obligation. The manipulation part just comes from, instead of you mumbling as you cut the grass or as you give me this allowance money or what have you, you're doing it more willingly. And I didn't have to get upset either in the request and ask you and nag you and all of that. The manipulation just makes it sweeter.
My wife tells me all the time, hey, just be sweeter to me. And I struggle with that. And so, because you said, like, hey, man.
Thinking about you being sweet, man. What?
Be sweeter to me. And so that's something that I struggle with, just being softer, because I am a straight shooter. I'm straight to the point, man. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And she, hey, just put a baby on the top of that. Manipulate me more, better. Pimp me. I mean, get my mind, and I'll do so much more for you.
This is true.
We're gonna end on this. I want to ask you, why then, if that's the case, you know how to manipulate me, why is it that we struggle to do the simplest of things?
I don't think we were taught, or I think that depending on what we've heard, we feel a certain way about it. See, my parents are old in their old school. My mom was 50 when I entered kindergarten. She got the game down so cold, man, that I saw servitude as power. Like, it didn't look to me like she was weak when my dad said something she didn't like and she did not respond. But then the next day, she made her point and got what she wanted. It didn't look to me at all that he was running over her. But so many single mothers, maybe without the being able to model that maybe for their sons as well as daughters. Mm-hmm. Now, can't nobody tell me, and if he say something, then I won't say something back, and they feel like that's authority. Nah, sis.
Well, you saying it was that was modeled.
It was modeled. It was regular to me. It was what's supposed to happen.
So that was modeled for you. Yet you said before, like, most people aren't taught that. I just came from the example of kids. Kids aren't taught how to manipulate. They just are. My son can ask me something. I can say no. He don't. He'll turn right around and go ask his mom, and she'll say yes. He knows how to manipulate.
If he didn't have another person to do that to, he would not be taught that I can get two different reactions, because it's two different people. Kids are absolutely taught, because again, the most powerful teacher a lot of times is nonverbal. It's kind of like Pavlov's dogs, man. Mm-hmm. If I know when that bell rings, I'm going to get this food, then I know that these are the things that Dad likes, and he's going to say yes to this. Can I get some fireworks? Mama going to say, nah, Dad likes that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Can I stay up later and cuddle? For some reason, Dad don't like me being in the bed. He want me, but Mom does, so I'm going to go to her for this. It's y'all's, the reward system to the request is the teacher.
Okay. We could do this for a long time, y'all.
Forever.
I really appreciate you being here with me. If you want to get more of this podcast, check us out. TransformationCG.com, transformationcg@gmail.com. And we look forward to bringing more conversations like this so we can dissect and deconstruct the foolishness that we've been taught all our lives. Lady Ro, I appreciate you being on the couch with Tim.
Big bet.
And we out.